Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Prairie Vintage Jewelry. My name is Linda, and today I am super excited to do a tarot reading regarding an important message from Spirit, some reassurance, some guidance as far as whether you are down the right path or if you are in a challenge right now and need some reassurance from Spirit that you are moving in the right direction, then this reading is certainly for you. Now, this message is timeless, so when you find this message, it was certainly meant to be heard by you. There will be 3 piles to choose from. It is absolutely a-okay to be drawn to all 3, 2, or 1. But if you are drawn to multiple piles, there might be multiple messages here for you. We will pull some oracle cards just to kind of gauge whether it's your pile or not. And if it does not resonate at the beginning, then you don't have to stick around for the tarot. But we will ask Spirit for clear and concise message that will help you, give you reassurance and a sign to let you know you're on the right path or that this pile is for you. Okay, so pile 1's the purple bird. Pile 2, these aren't piles, you know what I mean. Bird, purple, purple bird. Oy vey. Purple bird 1, pink bird 2, yellow bird 3. Pause the video. First pile you're drawn to, bird you're drawn to, is most likely your pile with the most messages. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Thanks. Hello, my beautiful pile 1. If you pick this purple bird, then this is your reading. So if you skip the intro here, we will be taking a look at messages, important messages from Spirit to give you reassurance that you are on the right path, or anything you need to hear to kind of just solidify any sort of reassurance that you need if you're going through a challenging time right now. So if you're not resonating with the first bit of this, then don't obviously feel obligated to stick around for the tarot, but we will ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for pile number 1 in the oracle so that they know this is their pile, about their situation, or anything that wants to come out here from Spirit. All right, thank you so much, Spirit. Please protect pile number 1 and myself as I channel this message for their greatest and highest good. We are so grateful. Thank you, thank you. And pile number 1, I am so blessed and honored for you returning or being new to this channel. Thank you so much, and allowing me to tap into your energy. All right, so we'll use some intuition here and the oracle cards to channel. We have summer, taking action, fruition, intellect. Instinct. I'm getting a strong message that for some of you guys, you're planning to go somewhere, most likely a trip, but you have something planned. Your instinct, or there's something you have a feeling about, and Spirit is saying it is accurate. So whatever you're planning, or whatever you're kind of guided to, for some of you guys, you might have just an inkling that you need to travel, plan a trip or travel somewhere, and Spirit is saying that your inkling, or at least your idea to go somewhere, is accurate. But for a lot of you guys, I'm getting you do have a trip planned, or at least are planning a trip, but there's this feeling that there's something that is off or not quite right, and it's kind of giving you some hesitation. So Spirit is saying, listen to what your intuition is telling you. So in 2 words, right? Go on this trip or don't go on this trip. Really, only you know what your intuition is telling you. So if you're getting a negative feeling or a negative vibe about a trip you have planned, then I would definitely listen to my intuition. And if you had just an inkling about going somewhere and have been putting it off, then Spirit is saying to take action and plan this trip. Now, there is memory here. So for some of you guys, I feel as though You are most likely planning a trip to either go see family. I mean, I know it's around the holidays, so that could very well be what the situation is here. You're planning a trip to spend time with your family. Um, and this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find this, the point of the trip is really to kind of connect with people, someone in particular, or a family member, or a group of family or friends that are mean family to you. So this trip is definitely important. Now, if this isn't about a trip, this could very well mean you're making a plan for an event. Could be in your hometown, but planning something that, yeah, I just see you planning something. Okay, so we'll ask Spirit for a little bit more here regarding this message. Spirit, what do we have here for pile number 1? Oh yeah, this one popped out, soar. Okay, so I think a lot of you guys, this is regarding a trip. I think you guys are planning a flight somewhere. I think it's more about, yeah, a flight than it is really planning an event. So I think this is pretty much it. I will pull one more, just in case before we get into the tarot. But what else, Spirit, here? So pile number 1 knows that this message is for them. Enlightenment. Okay, so I feel as though, like I mentioned before, if you haven't been planning a trip for a while and you're one who normally does and you've been kind of putting it off, Spirit is highly suggesting that you take action in planning this trip and that you will get a lot of enlightenment out of this trip. There is something to be gained. We'll see with the tarot why this trip is so important that you take. Again, if it is the opposite message where you already have something you're planning, but your intuition is telling you something else, that, yeah, to listen to your instinct on this one. But it is somewhere I'm feeling that you'd have to kind of take a plane to, at least. It is a travel by plane, most likely. So, okay, if that does not resonate for you, and it was very specific, so certainly this is a pointed message to someone who's, clicked on this pile. You can certainly click on another pile, or you can stick around if that is resonating. Spirit, can we get, I guess, this message, guidance, why this trip's so important, why this message is so important. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles here. We have okay, so I'm getting right away, some of you guys feel as though maybe you can't afford this trip. You're kind of concerned about putting away enough money, or it's taking you a long time to financially kind of maybe save up for this specific trip. So I feel as though maybe you guys are not quite sold. Like, again, there's two scenarios here, and again, this is specific, but for those of you guys who have been kind of putting off going on a trip, you feel as though you have been kind of working really diligently and putting away some money, really, to be able to take this trip. And kind of, it's been a lot of dedication and it's been very slow going, but you still feel as though maybe you're not quite ready. So Spirit is saying yes, you are ready, and you should certainly enjoy going on this trip, and that you will benefit from this trip. We haven't seen yet why, but for some of you guys, it's coming in that you might even be going somewhere and be looking for employment. And yeah, so okay, so I'm getting this message that you're maybe struggling with financial abundance right now, or at least you need to find employment, or have been considering finding employment somewhere outside of where you reside. But it's difficult because if you do take this trip, then you're kind of going to be without that cash and employment. Obviously, there's a reason why you're seeking employment, so you have to be really selective with where you invest your money and where you go. But Spirit is saying if you do have an inkling of where it is that you are wanting to go travel to find and seek employment, that is the right thing to do, because you will not only find get an offer of employment, maybe not exactly where you were thinking, but even better, like in an area that you get to really use your talent and your trade. I feel like it's a trade that you have that you're able to kind of do anywhere in the world, really. So, I mean, doctor slash builder slash, a trade, not necessarily like you're stuck committed to a place per se, but you can really flourish in your line of work wherever you kind of go. So yeah, it's saying that if you are hesitating regarding having enough to do this, to certainly do that. Now we'll take a look at, because I feel like that's really for the first scenario, we'll take a look at the ones who are kind of hesitating, or have something planned, but they're feeling like maybe this isn't the best thing to do. It's kind of weird now. I feel it's really flip-flop. Like those of you guys hesitating because there's not enough cash. Yeah, Spirit is saying to follow through on that. That your intuition, I guess, of saying you don't have enough is not accurate in that case. Okay, I see here, yeah, the second scenario, which was planning a trip to get closer to someone or people. I feel like this is a very important decision for you to make, that you're wanting to plan a trip to see how you can build your future. It may be a choice you have to make. Maybe this is your first time meeting with someone of interest, who you're looking at having a partnership or building a partnership with, and you're still, yeah, you need to decide and be clear on whether this is somebody who you are able to build with a steady future. So it could very well be you're prospecting your future partner, and planning a trip, and you are, you're kind of questioning whether this person is going to be stable enough for you guys to build something with. In this case, Spirit is also telling me that you should be taking this trip because you will be enlightened, but there is a warning here of sorts, and I really want to see what the warning here is. Spirit, what is this concern, this message you have regarding the ones who have this trip planned? 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay, it's becoming clear. Okay, I feel as though a lot of you guys have given a lot of contemplation regarding this, almost to the point of it's very heavy. And it's certainly, I really see it's around maybe somebody who you're considering building a future with, but you're very concerned, and you're almost in your head about it. And I feel as though the message here from Spirit is they want you to go in with an open mind and kind of drop your defenses, because what's happening is you're kind of going in a little bit guarded and a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit, yeah, like if you go in with the heaviness that you're kind of carrying, that it's going to kind of, I was going to say taint the whole trip, but yeah, like just the message here is remember that this is one secluded visit, I guess, or trip. So you can certainly build the tone of this relationship, go forward. If you go in with a mindset that something has to be a certain way or work out in a certain way, Spirit is saying, yeah, maybe, go in with an open mindset here, because you might enjoy that trip a lot more. And I feel like for some of you guys who are meeting with family, maybe over the holidays too, yeah, that maybe there is a situation that has happened and you're kind of uptight about how it's going to be when you're around, you know, your family or this group of people because of this situation that wasn't really laid to rest or hasn't really been fully resolved. So it's kind of like this heavy feeling you're going in. But Spirit is also mentioning to drop your defenses or your guard around that whole situation in order to enjoy yourself, because if you come in kind of still hanging on to heaviness of a past situation, that you're really not going to fully enjoy the company of your people or this trip. You're not going to get the most out of this trip. I think you still enjoy it, but I just feel like the message here is this awareness of how you're going to go into this you know, into this trip or on this visit, I guess, if you will. Okay, we'll pull 3 more cards. Anything else here, Spirit? Any messages for pile number 1 regarding this trip? Okay, so yeah, there's some like mental conflict you're having about this trip or planning it. Whatever you're telling yourself, Spirit wants you to know that the best way to handle it is to kind of maybe drop your, what you're telling yourself. You're kind of really stuck in seeing something from your perspective, and this is really giving you the cold feet about moving forward in the trip. You're kind of not feeling as enthused, or you might talk yourself out of it, or you might just not be as excited because of the fact that your inner dialogue or your mindset or your view on this is giving you that whole vibe. So yeah, just know the message here from Spirit is, I know it's difficult to change a mindset, but maybe you're so in your mindset that you're not realizing that you're kind of maybe putting that out there, that just kind of recognize maybe what you're telling yourself internally, and that this trip is definitely going to be enlightening, especially if you're kind of coming from an angle that you're not really hanging on to past challenges or seeking this, you know, what we saw here with the Lovers and the 4 of Wands, like this, looking for this stability that you don't end up finding on a first visit. Like there's some sort of expectation that you're kind of putting out there that is maybe a little unrealistic, that Spirit wants you to re-examine. And I think this is coming at this time because either this trip is fast approaching, and you're still kind of not, the shoe hasn't dropped, you know, as far as what you're telling yourself or your energy you're putting out. So it's still not too late to kind of just embrace the fact that this trip is going to provide you with some enlightenment some way or another, and be kind of open to it. Okay, so yeah, that's what I have here for pile number 1. That was a pretty specific message, so it might have not have resonated for all of you guys, but that's what came up through the cards. I appreciate you, you know, joining me on this. If you're inclined to sit through another pile, certainly do so, but clearly that was on someone's mind here heavily. And yeah, if it helped, I'm glad it did, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. If you picked this pink bird, then this will be your reading. So we will ask Spirit to be clear and concise. Thank you, Spirit, so much for the message, for the greatest good of pile number 2. And we're going to be asking Spirit to just give us an idea whether this is your pile or not, regarding a message that is timely, that needs to come forward to either give you some reassurance, some guidance, some clarity around maybe a confusing situation or something you need to hear right now that's going to help you, so you know that you're kind of on the right path with your thinking. Yeah, and thank you very much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy. So right now we're just pulling the oracle cards, and if it's not resonating, then you can click to another pile before we get into the tarot. So we have discovery, we have completion, we have impasse, we have resistance, we have trickery, we have observation, I'll pull one of these, and I'm already, getting what this theme is here about. Kitchen with creation. Okay, so this message from Spirit, it's also fairly specific, so if it's not resonating, then like I said, this might not be your pile, but I think for some of you guys, you're in the middle of letting go of something, the end of something in your life that is allowing you to open up a new pathway of self-discovery. You've kind of been hanging on to maybe something that should have ended a long time ago. So either you were having a really difficult time in moving on from a separation, either of a situation or with a specific person or a way of being, or something has caused you to recognize that there has to be an ending in order for you to move forward. And really this message from Spirit is that this is happening in order to give yourself growth and self-discovery. And the message here, though, might be that some of you guys are still in a state where you got to take a step back to observe rather than be involved. Just take a step back and observe your past actions and observe the situation at hand. So if this involves another individual, just take a step back and observe their actions. So that you can see clearly, I guess, what maybe you have been missing. I feel like there has been a little bit of deception. This could be deception, either you telling yourself something that is not absolutely true. But if you silence your mind and observe your situation, that you will see kind of where maybe there was some self-deception or some trickery on behalf of someone in your circle or situation. And I feel as though you are learning to let go or accept or move on or move forward from a situation. So the message here from Spirit is that not only is it healthy to feel this way, but it is healthy to feel it, but then it's what you do afterwards that really is going to be helpful. So if you hang on to or stay where it's kind of dead, you're not really going to be able to build anything new of this situation. That, yes, if it has ended, then this is clear indication that it is kind of over, or at least the phase of that whole thing is now can be put to bed, that there is more to be discovered, either in a new way, in the same, it's not really the same situation, but in the same arena, or something completely new. But really you can only find out once you learn to let go and kind of move on. But the message would be, this is only really realized by observation. So I think this is where Spirit really wants to give you this clue of observe, take a step back, and really be objective with what you're seeing, because I think you can see deception, or at least ways that you might have been, kind of self-deceiving yourself. But with creation and discovery, I feel as though there is an opportunity for you to really crack open a new area in your future that has been really stagnant up until now. So I feel like there's this cloud or this grayness that's kind of following you around a little bit. You're feeling stuck in a situation and you're kind of not wanting to let go or move on from. So if this sounds like your situation, let's get into the tarot. Okay, Spirit, for pile number 2, what exactly do you have to give them as far as messages regarding this situation, this circumstance? of the Chariot. Okay, so we're getting something strong here about willpower. Yeah, for some of you guys it is a relationship, but you're kind of being asked to trust the universe and use your strength and your willpower to kind of navigate through this relationship at this time. Yeah, there's some deception going on here. And possibly it could very well be, for a lot of you guys, I feel like it is self-deception. But for some of you guys, maybe this individual has not been as transparent about their situation, or yeah, something about the way they're living, something about them that hasn't been clear. And maybe they have told you, but you have been resisting. So the message here from Spirit is to move forward with and stick to the decision that you want to make intuitively, that you know that you're going to make. Okay, now if this is a situation and not necessarily a relationship, yeah, I feel like some of you guys feel forced into making a decision. And you're not looking at all the facts, or at least you're kind of making a decision based on, maybe what you're obligated or feel obligated to do. But Spirit's really saying to use your own willpower, but your own drive in order to identify what is actually truthful in the situation, which is your deepest want or desire. So for example, if there is a school you're looking at enrolling in and you've been kind of planting the seeds and moving forward, and then you're identifying that maybe the location or the type of schooling or whatever isn't really quite for you, and this has been something that just kind of came about, that you're still kind of trying to make it fit and resisting the fact that maybe, you know, this is not the best for you, and that you should be following what your truest desire is, and let go of the fact that maybe that school is not going to work for you. There's a piece of information here that you're refusing to see or not wanting to see because it makes things maybe flow a little easier, but Spirit wants you to trust your intuition, but also just your ability to know right from wrong and to stick to a decision. And Spirit is saying that you are certainly going to be successful if you stick to your willpower and your choice, that you will certainly come out on top victorious. Like, this is the victory card. I feel like you're kind of stagnant right now, so you don't have forward momentum, and you can't really celebrate or have any celebrations when you're stagnant because things aren't moving. So once you decide in an area that you know is really rightfully the area you should move forward, then you will be victorious. So if you do put aside this, let's say this relationship that you're kind of not really feeling, but are kind of stuck in, and you know that the best thing is to part ways, then you are opening the door to becoming victorious in your own life. That's an example, you know, or if you decide to steer in a different direction from what you initially had planned, or at least you can let go of something, Spirit is saying you will be successful. Yeah, I have a feeling that's something that's very close to home, something that emotionally ties or pulls at your heartstrings. Could very well be a relationship, could very well be something that is emotionally fulfilling, like, you know, what you want to, like, let's say all your life your parents want you to be, I don't know, an engineer, and you've been kind of planning for it, but now you kind of are looking back thinking, well, I kind of always wanted to be a teacher or whatever. That's an example. Spirit is wanting you to go back to your roots and really take a look at what side of you you're neglecting. There's something inside you from the past that knows the answer that you're not really following up on or listening to. And it's there. So maybe you hear it, but you're not really facing it. Okay. So let's pull 3 more cards here in the bottom regarding pile number 2. What more do you want to tell pile number 2 regarding this reassurance, this message, this clarity in their situation? Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 9 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I think the message here is that you've gone as far as you can go down the path of which you're on, and there's no more that you're able to give to the situation that's going to change the outcome, the stability of that situation. It's pretty much, it is what it is, and I hate that saying, but it really is what it is at this point, and I think you know it, and you're having anxiety about moving forward or leaving it behind or changing course and going in a direction that you know might be better suited for you. But Spirit is here saying that you know the answer, and this is reassurance that, yeah, you're kind of on the right track here to let that kind of die out, and that's kind of lived its course. And it'll free you from your anxiety and your stress, and it will free you to be victorious once you decide to move on. But while you're kind of in the state of impasse and not letting go and resistance, you're going to be experiencing this anxiety. So anyway, this is what I have here for pile number 2. Sorry you're going through anxiety. It is not fun. You know, it's not fun to be stuck, for sure. But I think based on what I'm picking up here, that you intuitively already know. And I'm confident that once you commit to it and decide on it, that you certainly will be absolutely successful and victorious in your decision. And yeah, so thank you very much. We'll see you again, pile number 2. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3. If you picked this yellow bird, then this is your reading. We will be taking a look at a message from Spirit, just so that you can have some guidance or at least some clarity in a situation that maybe you're not quite certain. You just want to know you're on the right track. You want some guidance from Spirit, any sort of message that wants to come through from Spirit. So thank you so much, Spirit, for this clear and concise message for pile number 3. And pile number 3, thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy. All right, so we will use the oracle cards at first, just to kind of see if this is your right pile and in this area, if it applies. And then we'll get into the tarot. If it does apply, stick around. If it's not, then you might want to check out another pile. They all seem to be fairly specific. All right, we got Discovery. This also came out in pile number 2. We got Despondence, pile number 2's feelings coming through here. So you might be hanging around here from pile number 2. Faith. I'm going to do one more here. Expansion. Okay. Abundance. One more from this one. Resistance. Premonition, prophecy. Okay, so I think a lot of you guys have come here from number 2, or maybe we're drawn to number 2 as well. Okay, so if you haven't seen number 2 yet, then you might want to go here. This might be a different stage of energy from number 2. I'm feeling, yeah, like this is a different stage, but this is certainly a number 2. So, I mean, you don't have to, but that's cool, totally what I'm picking up here. Exact same kind of scenario. So there's something going on in your life right now that you're kind of maybe not acknowledging, and you're kind of not really following what you know is intuitively right for you. And Spirit wants to say that there is this door that is just ready to be cracked open to bring you abundance, and you already know what it is that you need to do, but you're kind of resisting, and you're kind of stuck in a situation that you're despondent in, that you're not really making a decision one way or another because you're kind of resisting moving forward, but that this opening this door will add a lot of value and abundance in your life, and that you already kind of know what you have to leave behind and move forward from. There's something you need to lay to rest that you're still hanging on to, and it's a stalemate because you haven't been bringing in the abundance that's right around the corner for you. And I feel as though you might be in the middle of discovering this, and you're just learning to build on your faith and understanding of trusting yourself and your intuition as to what decision or which way you want to move forward with. But you do sense this expansion, this abundance around the corner. Like, I feel like you have a very good, some of you guys might even be highly intuitive here, or psychic even. So I feel as though you probably already kind of know this, but for some reason emotionally, I think you're kind of stuck or hanging on to a situation that is still kind of bringing you down, or at least not bringing you anything new. It's kind of laid its course, ran its course, and you're not really moving forward, okay, until you decide to step forward from this. So only you really know what that situation is. Again, this sounds very much like pile number 2, so you can go check that out. Let's take a look at the tarot to see what message Spirit wants to provide for pile number 3 regarding this situation. Any sort of messages so they know they're on the right track. Thank you very much, Spirit. All right, what do we have? We got the 4 of Cups. Yeah, you're emotionally not fulfilled right now. You're kind of in a state of boredom. You're looking to... Yeah, there's a lot of inner conflict within you, but you're looking to bring some emotional fulfillment in your life, and really your situation right now that you're in is not bringing that to you. So either you're in an unhappy relationship that is not bringing you what you want, and you know that that is what you want. So there's a lot of inner conflict. I think you're probably have a narrative going on as far as why you're still in this situation, but you do know intuitively you kind of have to look for your own emotional fulfillment. And I feel like you've kind of given up in that area, or at least you're not, yeah, you're not really putting up a fight. Let's see, what else does Spirit have to say? Yeah, I think there's some hanging on to a situation because of maybe some codependencies, but I just feel like it's very difficult if it's something that we are sticking to because we know. But I feel like what Spirit's telling me is that a lot of you guys have come to this realization or this understanding, but for a while, but haven't really been able to move forward with action when it comes to cutting ways with this unhealthy situation, because right now it's just going on and it's causing more hindrance than it is helping you in this situation. And I think you already are aware, but you're not quite acting on it so much. But I think that you've kind of, like I said, you've come into this realization. Like the aces for me are the beginning, right? Like this is the beginning of an understanding. This is like finally being aware of something, and but it all it is an awareness, really. It could be the start of a communication as well, which might lead to something, but it's really just the beginning. And unless you have follow through, then all it is kind of just a something. It's not really, it doesn't really lead to anything. And I feel like what Spirit wants to tell you is that in order to break free from this unhealthy pattern, and I say unhealthy because it's not leading you to your next fulfillment. It's kind of preventing you from opening the door to your abundance or your next stage of abundance. You have to kind of be able and courageous enough to kind of move in and forward, and despite how painful it might be, because there will be, or at least, you know, when you go into an uncharted territory, there is unknowns. So you can certainly be hurt or cause hurt, but it is required when kind of going into battle. And that's kind of how I feel like you're battling for your next phase, or your ability to open the door to your next abundance. And if you don't fight for yourself, then when? And no one else really will. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. This was in reverse, telling me that you're not taking action. We're going to keep it upright because I feel like this is encouragement from Spirit that there needs to be movement, you know, towards freeing yourself from this devil energy. Spirit, can we get some more here? Okay, yeah, something needs to come to an end, and it is painful. Something you're emotionally tied to, I see here with the Ten of Swords. It is hurtful, but really, Spirit is saying you're kind of acting a little bit out of fear, but there's certainly, with the Strength card here in the middle, you have the strength and the ability to pull yourself through this in a way that's tactful, in a way that's going to be the best in this situation, in a way that allows you to navigate in control of the situation. So you're not going to, yeah, like maybe your worst fears are kind of more in your mind that you're hanging on to, that really this is, with the Strength card, I just feel like you have the ability to really navigate through this very strong. And I don't think it's going to be as difficult as you might think it is, but definitely painful. You know, I'm not going to lie. There is pain here, but something needs to come to an end. But you are kind of stuck in fear. Yeah, so the fear is holding you back. And I think a lot of you guys already probably know this, so this isn't really anything new, aside from the fact that this is confirmation that if you've been flip-flopping or telling yourself maybe that you can't break free, that Spirit is saying not only can you do it, you know, like you really are selling yourself short as far as the next abundant situation, opportunity for you to really grow yourself as an individual. You're kind of holding yourself back from that until there's an end of this either situation, relationship, whatever it is that you know has come to an end. Okay, so let's see if there's anything more Spirit wants to give you. Anything else, Spirit? And pull one more here. And I do encourage you go see pile number 2. I mean, maybe there's something in there that's a little bit more. I feel like, yeah, these are just different stages of that energy. Same type of energy for sure. Yeah, Judgment. It's in reverse. Telling me you need to come to a realization. You probably have, but you're fighting a realization, an awakening. Something is telling you that it's time. And it's time to just make a decision, or at least that there will be something that needs to do, that you need to address, that you need to move on with, that you need to accept. And you're kind of hanging on to not accepting, which is holding you back. So I've been there. You know, it's very difficult. I trust you with the strength, have the ability to certainly move past a tough situation. and Spirit also wants to remind you of that. So I wish you the very, very best. Pile number 3. I'm so blessed, so grateful for you allowing me to tap into your energy. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Leave a like, leave a comment, and love and light. See you guys. Bye.